Hi students, now in this video we will start a new chapter of class 10 science, that is metal and non-metals. So here we start a chapter with the meaning of what is the metal and what is the non-metal, and then later we study about the physical property of metals and non-metals in this video. Okay, let us start the chapter that is metals and non-metals. Here students, I write down the first meaning of metals, that is definition of metals with example. Okay, we know that and we heard about the modern periodic table, right? That is classification of elements in nature, and some are natural and some are artificial. So total there are 118 elements are present in the modern periodic table. If you have your 10th standard science textbook, so in the back cover we observe the periodic table. It is like that. Okay, if you have this NCERT class 10 of Karnataka state, here in the back side you observe the modern periodic table. Okay, Mendeleev's modern periodic table. So this is containing total the 118 elements, right? So in these 180 elements there are 92 elements are there which are called as metals, and in that 118 the 20 metals are there which called as non-metals, and the remaining are called as metalloids. So here in these three categories, one is metal, one is non-metal, and one is metalloids. So in the 10th standard we only focus about the metals and non-metals. After knowing the meaning of the metals and non-metals, the chapter is totally deals with the metal, okay, metal concept, how to extract the metals and the chemical property of the metals. Now let us start with both the meanings of metals and non-metals. Okay, so here come to the meaning. So what is metals? So definition, metals are elements. Okay, we know that these are the elements. How many elements? There are 92 elements which are present in the modern, the known elements. Up to the now, the known element is our modern periodic is how much? 92 elements are there, and that is called as these are the elements. Metals are nothing but these are the elements forms positive ions. Means what? We know about the positive ions. For example, we write here Na plus, okay, Al plus 2 in the 9th standard. When we are study about the valencies, okay, valency, so we put a plus sign on the metals. Why? The metals are get plus sign. Okay, we observe that only on the metal we give the power. Okay, the charge is much what? Plus is there. That is called as a cation. Okay, that is called as what? Cations. Cations. So the metals are those elements, okay, which gives cations. When they give cations, because of they lose the electrons. They donate the electrons. Okay, also we call as donate the electron or lose the electron. Whenever any element which is lose the electron in the chemical reaction, okay, for making the bonding with the other elements, okay, for bonding with the other elements, they are form the compound, so they have to be lose the electrons. Okay, in the later in the lower classes we study about the ionic compounds, okay, in which the metals lose the electrons and form the ionic bond. Okay, so in that for the formation of bonds, the metals are lose the electron. If the element which loses the electron, which donate the electron to the other elements, and then it get the positive sign. So that is why always when we write an valency of the elements, we always put plus sign on the top. That is plus sign indicate that is nothing but donate the electron. If I write here common any one element, that is example B element, any simple is B element, I have put a sign plus. Means what? It is a metal, because only metal can get the positive charge. Why metal get positive charge? Because of they lose the electron, they donate the electron. Okay, so such elements are called as metals. Clear? So again repeated, metals are 3 point. Metals are the elements which are present in the modern periodic table. So metals are the element, first point, and the second point, they have positive charge. They are cations. They forms positive charge ions. Okay, they are form positive charge. Second point, and third one, why they have positive charge? Because of the losing or donate the electron. When they give the electron, when they donate the electron, also we call it gives electron. Okay, also we call it gives. These all terms are same. Okay, by losing the electron it get positive charge, or by donating electron or gives the electrons it get a positive charge. So these 3 points combined together form a definition of metals. Okay, so again repeated, the metals are the elements which type of ions? Positive ions. Why? Because of losing the electron, because of donate the electron, because of gives the electron, and such elements are called as metals. So examples are 92 elements are there, 92 examples are there. So here some examples are right here. For example, ferrous, that is iron, Fe, and aluminium, Al, and copper, Cu, and cobalt, Co, zinc, Zn, okay, etc. And the sodium, potassium, all these are there. So also example of metals. So total how many metals are there? Total 92 metals, means 92 examples of metals are present in the modern periodic table still now. Okay, up to date, that is what known elements metals in the modern periodic table is what 92 elements are present, which are called as metals. Why they are called as metals? Because of condition. One is they gives positive ions, and why they give positive ions? Because of the losing of electron, because of donating electron, and because of the gives electrons. This is the meaning of metals. Okay, hope you understand. Then next come to the next concept, that is opposite, that is non-metal. Okay, so here non-metal is just opposite definition, right? So non-metal also an elements. How many elements are? 20 elements present in the modern periodic table. Up to date here, how many known elements are there? That is 20 elements are there. Okay, so non-metals also elements which are present in the modern periodic table. How many? 20 is there. Which forms negative ions? Okay, see opposite. Metals form positive ions, but this forms negative ions. And this negative is also called as what? Anions. Okay, anions, also called as anions. So negative ions are anions. Why they form anions? Because of accepting the electron, because of receiving the electron. Okay, because of receiving the electron. If they receive the electron, if they accept the electron, then what happened? They get a negative charge. For example, we write like that: chlorine Cl minus, right? Cl minus, Fe, fluorine minus. Okay, up top what? Nitrogen minus. Because of what? They accept the electrons. That is opposite to the metal. Metal gives the electron, metal lose the electron, donate the electron. But after donating the electron, the non-metal ready to accept the electron. That is why the formation of bonding takes place. Okay, metal give the electron and the non-metal accept the electron. Then what? There is what? Transfer of electron takes place. So there is formation of bond takes place. So that is what called as non-metals. So it is just opposite. If you are practice metal definition, it is automatically gifted for you. Okay, here positive, here negative. Why positive? Because donate the electron. If I give means it is positive sign. If I accept, this is what? Negative. So it is negative. Because of accepting the electrons is called as non-metals. So there are 20 elements are non-metals. Therefore that is what example: oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, and fluorine, etc. Total 20 examples are there in the modern periodic table. Okay, so total how many is here? Total 192 is elements, right? Then 20 is non-metal. Total how much here? 2 and 11. Okay, 2 and 11 is there. So total how many is there? Total 112 is there. But total elements how much? That is 180. So plus 6 is what? That is what? Metalloids. That is what? Metalloids. So metalloids are the elements which exhibit both metal and non-metal property. Okay, that is what intermediated between metals and non-metals. They are totally not non-metals. They are not totally metals. They are intermediated between the property of metal and non-metal. So there are 6 elements are there. Total how many elements are there? Total 118 elements are present in the modern periodic table. So in which 92 are metals which gives positive ions by losing the electron. 20 are the non-metals which form the negative ions by accepting the electrons. Okay, then plus 6 are the what? Metalloids which exhibits both metals and non-metals, which are intermediated between the metals and non-metals. There are 6. So total how many elements are there? Total 118 elements are there: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Okay, so but here we did not study about the metalloids. We only focus on the metals and non-metals here. So this is the meaning of metals and non-metal. Let us come to the next property of metals, that is physical property of or physical characteristics of the metals. Okay, so please write down this one and come to the next very important point. Now students, take the another very important concept of this video, that is what? The physical properties of metals. right? So here there are different types of physical properties of metal, and that is very important as a point of examination. Okay, so for example 2 marks, for 1 mark there are most types of questions are framed from here. So let us start with the physical property of metals. So now the first physical property of metal is, that is malleability. Malleability. So this is what the physical property of metal, malleability. So what is mean by here malleability? So what is the definition of malleability? So here it is nothing but the property of, okay, it is a property of metal, the property of metals due to which metals are beaten into sheets. So that is called as a malleability. So we observe that the metal sheets are there. Okay, we never observe the non-metal sheets. We always see the metal sheets are there. Okay, metal sheets are there. That property is called as a malleability. Okay, if any elements, for example, if any elements which are have property to convert into the sheets when they beaten into with hammer, when they are beaten with the hammer, they are converted into sheets. Okay, that is called as what? A malleability. So here when a metal is converted into the sheet, remember it one, when the metal is converted into sheet by beating with hammer or any solid material. So what happened? The metals automatically converted into the sheet by doing this process. And if the metals are converted into sheets, and this process is called as what, students? Is nothing but what? Malleability. Okay, this property is called as a malleability. Right here, one type of shortcut we notes, we are remember this point. Okay, simple one. Metal is there, it converted to the sheets. How? By beat with the hammer, by beating process. Okay, that is converted sheet, and this process called as a malleability. So in the examination they ask what is meaning of malleability, define malleability. So the malleability is a property of the metals. Okay, 92 metals are there. Okay, property of the metals due to which metals are beaten into the sheets. But here exception is there. Okay, here exception is there. That is a sodium and potassium. These are soft metal. Okay, sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium, they are not converted sheets. So except sodium and potassium, that you have to remember. Okay, so malleability, the property of metal which converted into the sheets by beat into the sheets. Okay, that is called as a malleability. Except what? Sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium considered as metal. They are metals, but they are not follow this property. That is the very important point. In the example they ask all the elements are follow malleability except which element? That is what? Except sodium and potassium, they not show this property because of their soft elements. They are called as a soft elements. Okay, they are soft elements and they are cut with a knife. Okay, that is very important. They are easily cut with. Okay, cut with knife. They are easily cut with knife. So that is what they not follow this property. So except potassium and sodium, the malleability property is very important. And the element which is most malleable, okay, that is very important here, most malleable metal is gold and silver. That is very important. Gold and silver is the most malleable elements. So all 92 elements are metals, 92 metals are there, in which 2 are accepted, remaining 90. In remaining 90, the topmost element which is follow this property, very important. Next one, the malleability, most malleable element is what? Gold and silver. You have to remember. Okay, that is very important element. Which is the most malleable element? That is gold and silver. You have to remember. That is why gold and silver are used in the making ornaments. That is very important. In examination they ask why gold and silver are, or why gold are used in making the ornaments, gold ornaments, because of this property, because of the malleability property. Okay, gold obeys, having the most malleable element, because of that they are used as an ornament, making the ornaments. Okay, that is very important. So most malleable element is gold and silver, and which is not malleable property, there is not except sodium and potassium, they not follow this property. So this is the number one physical property of metals. Okay, please write down this one. First property, malleability. Again I repeated, malleability, the property of metal due to which metals are beaten into the sheets. So the most malleable element is what? Gold and silver. You have to remember this one. And except sodium and potassium, it is not, it is soft element which cut with the knife, and metals are converted to sheet and by with hammer. Okay, if a metal is given, if a hammer is given, so which property you check? That is what? Malleability property. That is very important. Okay, if I give a metal and if I give a hammer, okay, I order you to beat, so which property actually you are going to checking? That is what nothing but malleability. Okay, whenever metal is converted to the sheet by beating process, it is called the malleability. Okay, then why gold and silver are used for making the gold ornaments or silver ornaments? Because of the property of malleability. Silvers are malleability because of that most malleable. Silver and gold are most malleable because of that they are used in making the ornaments which are used by the girls for wearing in the for fashion. Okay, for fashion they are using the gold ornaments. Okay, so because of the malleable property. So this is the number one property. Okay, right? Now come to the second one, that is I can take second one. Number two property. Number two property, that is what? Ductility. Okay, property number two, that is a ductility. Ductility. So again, this is a property of element. Okay, the property of metal due to which property of metals, okay, due to which metals are converted into thin wires. Okay, thin wires. For example, copper wire, silver wire are also called gold chain. Okay, silver chain. Okay, that is all what chains are there, wires are there. That is coming about the ductility property, right? Marble property, sheet, and here ductility property. So here metal is converted to the wires, which is called as what? Ductility. Okay, it is called as a ductility. Okay, ductility property. And the most ductile element. Okay, the most ductile element is gold. The most ductile element is gold. Okay, students, because of that, again answer is changed here. So in the malleable property and ductile property. So in the example they ask why the metals gold are used. Okay, they are only about gold. Why the gold are used to making the gold ornaments? It is because of the property of one is a malleability, and one is a ductility. Okay, ductility. One is malleability and one is ductility. The gold is used to make ornaments. Okay, gold ornaments because of this property. So very important question, why gold are used to making the gold ornaments? Because of the two properties. One property is malleability, converted sheets, and one is ductility, converted wires. So these are what the very important concept about the ductility. So except here sodium and potassium. Sodium, potassium also not use this property because of the they are soft, they are not converted into the wires. So except sodium and potassium, all the elements are follow this property. So the what is the ductility? The property of the metal which converted into the wires. Okay, and the most ductile element or ductile metal is what? Gold. Because of that, malleability property and ductility property. Okay, gold follows malleability property and ductility property. That is why the gold is used in the making of gold ornaments. So that is very important. You have to be remember here. Okay, so this is what number third property. Okay, please write down this one. The number third property. Right? Okay. Now come to the third one. That is important. Luster. Okay, come to third one. That is one third one. That is called luster. Is what? Luster. Okay, that is called luster. It is called luster. So here, what is meant by luster here? So luster is nothing but the property, like a property of element. Okay, it is property of metal. Property of metal. Property of metal. Property of metal. And in pure state, metals have shiny surface. Okay, shining surface. Okay, shining surface. So that is called as a luster. Very important. Luster property, shining property. So always we know that the luster is there. Okay, metals are and luster in shape. Okay, so property of metals and luster is the property of metal, and in the pure state. Okay, the metal not to be rusted. Okay, it is in the pure state. In the pure state, the metals having shiny surface. Okay, so this is called a luster property. If for example I give a metal, and a sandpaper. Okay, so which property you check? Which property you check? This is very important. If they give one metal and sandpaper, sandpaper, so which property we find out? It's nothing but what? It is luster property. If metals are rusted, so you take the metal and clean the metal with a sandpaper. Okay, by cleaning with the sandpaper, you observe that the metal surface start to shining. So copper is there, which is when we rusted, it is not shining. When copper is clean, it is shining. Copper is there, aluminium is there, iron is there. Iron is get rusted when. If the iron is get rusted, then use sandpaper and clean the metal, you get a shining surface. So that is very important. If in the examination they ask if you provided the metal and the sandpaper, so which property you check here? So that is what a luster property, that is very important. So property of metals are in a pure state, the metals are shining the surface. So please write down this one. Okay, that is metallic luster. So the most gold is there. Okay, example, the most luster is what? Gold. Okay, the most luster element is gold, silver and platinum. Gold, silver and platinum. Okay, gold, silver and platinum are known of the shining surface. Okay, most shining surface. You have to be remember this point. Okay, so here what is luster? Luster is the property of the metal, and in pure state metals have shining surface, and it is called as a luster. Okay, so if we provide the metals and the sandpaper, which property you are check here? We check the luster property, and then which is the most luster element, which is the most shining element. So that is what? Again gold, okay, silver and again platinum. So again the question is again added. Why gold is used as an ornament, making ornament? One is because of the malleability, and one is because of the ductility, and one is because of the luster, because of the shining. So we observe the gold materials, gold ornaments, gold chain is there, it is shining in shape. Okay, very attractive this is. Because of that we are use the golds. Very attractive, very shining surface is there. That is also we added in the answer. So again answer repeated. So why gold is used for gold ornaments? That is one because of the malleability, because of the sheet, and one is because of the ductility, because of the wires, conductive wire, and third one because of the luster, that is because of having shining surface. So these three reasons are there by which we are use gold as a gold ornaments. Okay, so these are third property of the third physical property of metal, that is a luster. So please note down this one. Okay students, now after that come to the next property, that is sonorous. Okay, what is property is sonorous. One is sonorous, or also called as a sonority. Okay, sonority. Okay, also called as sonority. So what is meant by sonorous here? So metals are produce sound when beaten with hammer. Okay, when beaten hammer or any other materials, okay, when beaten, okay, when beaten it is produced sound, so it is called as what? Called as sonorous, called as sonorous or sonority. Okay, so that is second fourth property of metal, physical property of metal is sonorous. That is, metals are produce sound when they are beaten with something hard. For example, not a hammer. The hammer is there also some hard materials. Okay, whenever they strike, okay, also called strike with hard materials. Okay, when it is strike, okay, when it strike with another material, what happens? The sound is produced. So that is called as a sonorous property. Okay, it's called a sonorous property here. Okay, the sonorous property. So we also observe that in the older, in the past, in the schools now electric bells are there. Okay, but actually when we are go back 10 years back, so in the school there metal bell is there. Okay, nowadays also bell is there, metal bell is there. With hammer, a clerk can beat, okay, metal. Then what happened? Ringing sound is happened. So that is what the school bell. Okay, school bell. Give an example for school bells. Okay, school bell. School bell is example for what is sonorous property. And also we observe that electric bell also there. In electric bell, what happened? Automatically ringing is there. That is also because of striking with the metals. Okay, that is what also example for the sonorous property. For example, school bell is there. School bell are there. When they are strike with any hard material, what happened? They are produce a sound, and that is called as a sonorous property. Okay, student. So please write down this one. Okay, now I am removing this one. So come to the fifth property, and it's called thermal conductivity. Okay, property that is called thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. Here, see what happened here. For example, I can take a stand. Okay, I can take a stand and I fix a metal. Okay, any metal. I take any metal. And I take wax here. Okay, here I put a wax on this one. Wax is there. It is what? Wax. Candle wax is there. Okay, it is wax is there. I can make here wax, candle wax. So when I burn this side, okay, one end side off with the candle. So what happened? After some time, these are start to melting. These are start to what? Melting. So what happened? Here I heated this corner, but after some time, what happened? The whole metal is be heated, and because of that, the wax is start to melting. So this is called as a thermal conductivity. Okay, when a stand is given, and when a rod is given, and a wax is given, and a candle. One is metal is given. One is metal and one is wax, that is candle. Okay, candle wax. Okay, candle wax, and one is a spirit lamp for heating. Spirit. Okay, one is a spirit lamp. Okay, now which property we understand? We understand proper thermal conductivity. Okay, take a metal and fix some wax on this metal and start to heat the one end of the metal. After some time, we observe that these wax are start to melting. Okay, because of the heat. So what happened? Heat is transferred into the metals. Okay, so what happened? What is meaning of thermal conductivity? Thermal conductivity but the transfer of heat. Transfer of heat into the metals. Okay, that is called thermal conductivity. So whenever I heated the one corner of the metal, after some observe that these heat is traveled throughout the metal and the wax start to melting. So that is called as thermal conductivity. So what is thermal conductivity? Thermal nothing but heat. Okay, the property of the metal which conduct in heat energy. Okay, which transfer of heat into the metals. So that is called a transfer of heat energy into the metals. It is called as a thermal conductivity. Okay, what is thermal conductivity? It is the property of the metal through which the transfer of heat into the metal taken place. That is what the conduction of heat energy. Okay, the conduction of heat energy. Conduction of heat energy. Heat energy. So this is what, student, the property of the physical property of the metal, that is what thermal conductivity. Thermal stand for that is what nothing but what for heat. So thermal stand for heat. So thermal conductivity, heat conductivity. So any metal which conduct electricity, any metal which allow to flow of heat into the metal, that is called as a thermal conductivity or conduction of heat energy. So this is nothing but what the fifth property. Sorry, this is sixth property of physical property of metal, that is what thermal conductivity. Okay, students, please write down this one. Okay, write down this one. Okay, I can remove this one. Now come to the other very important property, that is what sixth one here, electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. Okay, the metals are allowed to flow of electricity. Flow of electricity, thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity. Okay, like that when the heat is transferred into the element metal. So like that the metals also conduct or also allowed to flow of electricity into the metal. So that is called as electrical conductivity. The conduction of electricity. Okay, that is what the conduction of electricity. Conduction of electricity or electrical current. Okay, conduction of electricity. For example, copper wire is there. Okay, iron is there, silver is there. So these are what the good conductor of electricity. So okay, so these are what electrical conductivity. Okay, now here I can how do I check this property? So here I require one battery. Okay, I require one battery. A battery given, wires are given, then switch is given, and a bulb is given. Which property we are used? Which property we are studying here? So we study the property, that is we study the property. Which property study? That is what? Electrical conductivity, EC we study here. So electrical conductivity study by using the battery, by using the wire and by switch and the bulb. In the electricity chapter we are learn about the simple electrical circuit. So simple electrical circuit, the conducting wire is there. So that is conducting wire is nothing but what? That is electrical, that is nothing but metals, that is electrical conductivity. So conducting wires are made up of the metals. So this is students, that is what electrical conductivity. Okay, so here we finished all the properties of metals. One is malleability, one is ductility, and one is sonorous, and one is electrical conductivity, one is thermal conductivity. Okay, so these are what all the properties of physical properties of the metal we study here, and also we discussed about some more important questions on this. Okay, why gold is used as ornament. So all these are discussion we finish here. So this is the law's electrical conductivity, and which is be checked by battery, wire and switch, and bulb is required to check this electrical conductivity of metals. So these are what all the physical property of metals. Okay, so this is enough for today's videos. So in this video we are study about the definition of metals and non-metals, and then the physical properties of metals. Okay, so here these are the physical property of metals with their meaning, with their examples. Okay, hope this video is very helpful for you. In the next video we are come across with a chemical property of the metals. Okay, and the chemical reactions about the metals and with acid and with water and so on. Okay, so in the next video we are meet with the chemical properties of metal, but for this video it is enough. So meet in the next video. So thank you for watching this video.